First of all, this presentation is going to be divided into two parts. First of all, I'm going to give you a short intro on nearshoring, and then Hank will present our daily practice and shortly present the future. Because our time frame is pretty short, I decided to skip the part in which we all gloriously find Central Europe on the map. I assume you know us all. And for brevity also, I decided to anchor all of the examples about Central Europe around the randomly chosen country of Poland. So, what exactly is nearshoring? Well, you can treat nearshoring as a type of outsourcing and a common part of offshoring. Nearshoring is moving your business or IT processes to nearby countries with similar time zone so that a third party can take care of your process. Why would you do that? Why would somebody move a business process from across the corridor to across the border to even across the globe? Well, first of all, you need to find people. As you can clearly see, in the UK, till 2017, there'll be a huge problem with IT professionals. It is estimated that about 745,000 people will be needed in the IT industry. Moreover, apart from skill shortages, Europe as a whole is also rising from the economic crisis. And IT salaries in UK remain one of the highest among many geographies, and they're about to rise also. Then again, when you talk to leaders in Germany and UK, they clearly state that maintaining their own infrastructure can be costly and can lead to wasting resources. You'd be hard-pressed to call these numbers a vast majority, but the fact the glass is half empty cannot be really ignored. Now, the last point, we are all forced to do more with less year to year. Budgets are going low, and we need to perform better. So, let's start with the elephant in the room. Is it all about money? Not really. If you take into consideration, for example, situation in China, the great offshoring destination, it turns out that raising inflation and raising salary expectations, coupled with the shift from product to service-oriented economy, makes the cost gap narrower and narrower. In short, Asia is losing its advantage over Europe. Moreover, when saving is the goal, costs go up. Just ask your accountant. Who's Matt, you probably ask. I don't know. Matt posted these words, under an article in Computer Weekly, and I found it especially accurate, and also was in line with findings of The Economist. Now, what are other risks related to offshoring to faraway countries? Well, first of all, political. Think about Middle East. The situation is changing day to day. Natural. Think about Asia. Seismic activity, floods, monsoons. Think about the situation in which you wake up one day and you realize your precious little project is underwater, literally, for months. And then again, technical. Let's say Latin America. Some of the governments decided to cut electricity for 4 hours a day just to make ends meet. You can't really develop software in that conditions, do you? Okay, so if you can't find people in UK and other destinations, offshoring destinations, are really your not best choice, what is the alternative? Well, Central Europe. Central Europe, for example, Poland. We got talent pool with available skills. Let me just tell you, Polish IT students won group programming championship twice. 5 of our universities were placed in top 700 in the world. We are a 38 million strong nation with 2 million students and 40,000 students leaving universities every year. We are well placed in Europe. Central Europe was a melting point of influences, which means we are pretty good built into the European reality. If you think cultural similarities are not important, think about cooperating with Asians. It turns out that our body language differ. Our idea of time differ. You can say tomorrow, meaning the next day, but it can turn out that tomorrow means next week. What follows? If you want to develop bespoke products, probably Central Europe is your choice. Why is that? Well, just recently I read a short case about a company that wanted to outsource a huge IT project, and it provided a short specification to two companies, one in Central Europe and one in Asia. The offshoring company developed the project very meticulously, very by the book. They were very process-oriented, but there was a catch. Do you know what catch? There was a bug intentionally placed in the specification to check whether they are able to catch it. They weren't. However, the Central European company, well, they asked lots of questions. They wanted to understand the project. They proposed their own solutions, and they won. So, if you want to work in an agile environment, if you want to develop quickly, if you want short response rate, probably Central Europe is your choice. Now, with similar time zones and overlapping work schedules, you can visit production sites day to day. You can kick off projects, you can visit every 2 weeks. If you think about that killer jet lag you had after visiting Asia, just imagine doing it twice a month and suffering 8 hours of jet lag. If you offshore to Asia, it probably means your guys need to stay up really late, or their guys need to wake up really early. European Union laws, that's very important. If you think about it, we're all about data. Data is the currency of the 21st century. In European Union, there's something called Data Protection Act, and all of the European countries need to follow that. We are able to quickly react to any changes in laws. And if you think about any data leak in Asia, there's nothing really you can do. Short response times, as I mentioned, perfect for agile projects, and language skills. It may seem to be an afterthought, but it's very important. This is a short excerpt from Deutsche Bank report from 2006. It turns out that Central European countries are very, very well versed in languages. English, German, French, Spanish, also Russian. If you're thinking about jumping off with your business to Russia, Central Europe is the perfect place to start. Now, about rankings. You can read all in the slide. I'll just mention that in the latest 2015 report of Tolos Consulting, Poland was the only European country in top 10 outsourcing destinations. All of the other, well, Asian. Now, bearing that all in mind, we can say something about backshoring. Backshoring is a rising trend of companies moving their offshore projects to closer destinations, to Europe. Why? Because of all the mentioned reasons. But you can also say that businesses are voting with their feet. And I could mention here about Motorola or Sabre that decided to move their nearshoring offices to Poland. But I really like to focus on Emphasis. Has anybody heard about Emphasis? A very huge Indian outsourcing company specialized in IT processes from Bangalore, India. Recently, they decided to open their first nearshoring office in Europe. Do you know which country they've chosen? Poland and the lovely city of Wrocław. They decided to hire Polish staff. Okay, so that point concludes my part. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce Henk van Lussen, our VP of Business Development. Thank you.